Hello everyone, I am Vaibhav Vajpayee. I would like to welcome you all at my YouTube channel, and this is IITJ Advanced Lecture Series 2, and I have completed question number 7. So now I am taking question number 8. So question is, let x equal to set 1 2 3 4 5 6 and a comma c are natural numbers selected from set x with replacement. Let fx equal to x square plus x for x less than equal to 1, x square minus ax for x greater than 1, and g of x equal to x square minus cx, x less than equal to 2, x square minus 4x, x greater than 2, and hx equal to fx into gx for all x belongs to R. Let n1 be the number of functions hx such that fx and gx are both discontinuous, n2 be the number of functions hx such that fx is continuous at x equal to 1 and discontinuous at x equal to 2, but fx and gx are both discontinuous, and n3 be the number of functions hx such that hx is discontinuous at x equal to 1 and continuous at x equal to 2. Then find the value of n1 plus n2 plus n3. So pause this video and try this question. Let's begin. Now, so here we have fx and gx. Then we have to find function hx. So if you determine hx, so let us say that this is 1 and this is 2. So x less than 1, we get function x square plus x, and x greater than 1, we get function x square minus ax. And similarly, x less than 2, we get x square minus cx, and x greater than 2, we get x square minus 4x. Now, if you observe this interval, so in this interval minus infinity to 1, it is common to both the functions fx into gx. So now we have to define hx equal to fx into gx. So x square plus x into x square minus cx, and this is defined for x less than equal to 1. And now we get x square minus cx and x square minus ax, x lies between 1 and 2. Then we have to define x square minus 4x and x square minus ax, and this is for x greater than equal to 2, right? Now, so it is given that we have to find n1 and the number of functions hx such that fx and gx are both discontinuous. So if we have to check the discontinuity of both functions fx and gx. So if we check the discontinuity of fx and gx, so now we have to check the discontinuity of function fx at x equal to 1, and so we have to find f of 1 positive and f of 1 negative, and f of 1 negative is same as f of 1. So f of 1 positive is 1 minus a, f of 1 negative is 2. So fx is discontinuous at x equal to 1. So it means 1 minus a equal to 2, a is not equal to minus 2. So if a is not equal to minus 1, the function is discontinuous. But we are getting the values of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at these values, what we get here? The function is discontinuous. So for the discontinuity of function, the values of a will be 1 2 3 4 5 6. So the total number of values a will be 6. Now then we'll check the discontinuity of gx at x equal to 2. So if we check the discontinuity of gx at x equal to 2, then g of 2 positive equal to g of 2 negative, and here we get g of 2 positive, g of 2 negative is same as g of 2. So now we get g of 2 positive equal to g of 2 negative equal to g of 2, and if you equate these two things, then we get the function is discontinuous. So left hand limit is not equal to right hand limit. So if we simplify this, then we get c is not equal to 4. So we are getting only 5 values of c. So here we get 6 values of a and 5 values of C. So the total number of such functions, yes, total number of discontinuities of these two functions will be 30. 6 multiplied by 5. So the function is discontinuous. The number of functions hx which is discontinuous at 5 points. Why we are saying the function is discontinuous at 5 points? Because if you write h of x, 5 into 6, 30 points, so hx equal to fx into gx at x equal to 2. If this function is continuous and this function is discontinuous, so entire function must be discontinuous, and vice versa is also true. Now check the total number of functions hx when hx is continuous at x equal to 1 and discontinuous at x equal to 2, but fx and gx are both discontinuous. So if you see the next part, hx is continuous at x equal to 1 and discontinuous at x equal to 2. So if hx is, this is function hx, and hx is continuous at x equal to 1, so h of 1 positive equal to h of 1 and h of 1 positive, and this is h of 1 negative, h of 1 negative, and h of 1 negative is same as h of 1. So now we get uh, h of 1 positive equal to h of 1 negative equal to h of 1. So here we get 2 times 1 minus c equal to 1 minus c times 1 minus a. So now we get c minus 1 into a plus 1 equal to 0. But we know that a has positive values. So for those positive values, this bracket cannot be 0. Therefore, c minus 1 must be 0. So c must equal to 1. Then we have to check the discontinuity of function at x equal to 2. So h of 2 positive, this is h of 2 positive, and h of 2 negative is same as h of 1. So if you simplify this part, so h of 2 negative equal to h of 2 negative is same as h of 2. So now the function is discontinuous at 2. So we get a is not equal to 2 and c is not equal to 4. Now, so if a is not equal to 2, that means we are getting 4 values of that it means we are getting 5 values of a, but c must be equal to 1. Why? Because if you put c equal to 1, so this function is discontinuous and this function must be continuous. So value of c must be 1, and a can have any value other than 2. So therefore we are getting total number of values for n2 will be 5. Then we have to check the next part, and the next part is given the number of functions hx such that hx is discontinuous at x equal to 1 and continuous at x equal to 2. So hx is discontinuous at x equal to 1. It means we have to check left hand limit, right hand limit, and value of function. So c is not equal to 1, and hx is continuous at x equal to 2. So it means we get left hand limit equal to right hand limit equal to value of function. So now we get left hand limit equal to right hand limit equal to value of function for continuity, and for discontinuity we have to write left hand limit equal to value of function but not equal to right hand limit. So now here we get a equal to 2 and c equal to 4. So if we put c equal to 4, then we get 6 values of a, right? But if you put a equal to 2, then we get 4 values of c other than 4. So it means now we are getting n3, and n3 will have 10 values. So the total number of values of n1 plus n2 plus n3 will be 45, and this is the final answer. I hope everyone understood this question. Thank you so much for watching this video.